Hi, beautiful peasants. Welcome in, and happy 4th of July. I've got a really fun stream planned for the day, and it's a little ironic. Today's request is from someone not in the United States. It just seems funny to me. So sculpting a monster request from a Brit today. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And then also kind of part of the pun, the requester's name is Foxy, so I have my fox I sculpted last week up as well. But yes, welcome in, welcome in. See, just Lingual's here, Reaper, Micah, Optimistical Studios, welcome in. You British. Hello, Eloa. Yeah, I'm really excited for today's stream. I expect it to be a quieter one because, you know, it is a holiday day, so especially thanks for hanging out with me. It's a fun one. Because I be sculpting and working either way. It's really more of a night holiday anyhow. I know one of our moderators is currently at the pool, so they will not be here. Yeah, it's a collaboration between countries. We're healing. Yes, I hope you guys are doing well. When I got this request from Foxy last year, it was so ridiculous that I honestly probably should have said no, but I didn't, and I'm kind of glad that I accepted it because, one, it leads to a very fun stream today, and two, I think I have the sculpting chops for it now, honestly, or at least close. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually share the description of what I'm sculpting, word for word, no summary. Foxy had to DM this to me on Discord because it was so long. Patreon was like, no. We're talking about eating people in the chat. Of course you guys are. Anyway, on topic. Alrighty, so I'm posting this description in our Discord. If you want to join, just ask the mod for a link if you're not already here. We're hanging out in the live stream hub today. And technically it's not from Foxy, it's from one of their players, I think, but Foxy submitted it, so if we have problems today, we'll blame them. Oh look, I can't even send it on Discord because it's so long, can I? Oh, just barely. If it was 4 characters longer, I couldn't send it. So yes, this is the abomination that we're working on today. I guess we will summarize, but it's broken down into different body parts. So the head is like a giant pyramid, it has multiple pairs of eyes, 8 pairs of legs, I know, and they're all different. Super long body, flexible neck, back sails, a tail, and the overall aesthetic is sleek and predatory. So yes, capture the essence of a primal, otherworldly predator. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to need, or I appreciate any help from y'all when I ask for references. I'm going to be grabbing a lot of different references for this and different animals that I think it reminds me of. It is roughly like a horse-sized creature, but I'll probably err towards the larger scale just to kind of have enough room to put all of these limbs on this animal. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's going to be great. Foxy, don't blame me for this. It's for my GM. Oh, okay, that makes sense. You are the player. All right. I still blame you. Perfect. Someone's typing out blame. Excellent. Name. I love that. Who did that? Oh, there's a narrative description. I was going to share that just now, too, anyway. Thank you, Foxy. Amazing. Thank you, Blue Jester. All right. Well, it's going to be a fun one. I'm sure Eloa is just like, oh my god. It's not even a special Eloa event stream. It's going to play out like one, isn't it? So yes, this is a great little narrative description about this. The Splendor is what it's called. Hunting or failing to hunt a little critter. But it's very creepy, and you really get an idea of how this thing moves. I think I'm going to sculpt it with its mouth open because I just don't think I have enough problems to deal with here. So I figured, you know what, let's just make it worse. Yeah. All right, excellent. Foxy, I think the peasants are canceling you. I love this. Oh, it's a no. Excellent. Eloa, nah, too messy for me. I mean, this is pretty organized. It breaks down each piece. The character monster idea, yeah, it was insane. They're like, let's throw the whole kitchen sink out of it. I'm gonna make it work though. I agree, open mouth for sure. Let's do it. Again, we're gonna have kind of a different structure here today. We will probably have happy hour still so I can review student work. I think it's really just Empress right now that has some questions. Other than that, this is a great start. I think we're ready. Oh no, Optimistical Studios. Why is my sound not working? All right. Are you guys ready? I think we're ready. It's me a short doors open. It's a special stream today. Welcome to the Tavern Keeper's Craft. Today we are sculpting the Splendor, which is a request from Foxy, which is from their DM or GM, but whatever. We blame Foxy for this. This ridiculous beast is otherworldly and has way too many limbs, multiple eyes, and we're going to sculpt all of it from scratch. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started. Because this creature is so complicated and overwhelming and ridiculous in a lot of ways, it actually almost feels less stressful, if that makes sense. Because if it just doesn't come out great, you know, at least I tried. At least I had fun with it. I've sculpted a lot of creatures over the years, so I think I'll be able to do quite good with this. All right, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is start blocking out the head. I'm going to be using my clay brush for a lot of this early on stuff, as well as Dynamesh. I'm going to Dynamesh at a very low resolution. And we're going to start with some eyes. Very good. It's going to be a lot of the clay brush and the move brush to begin. Really just kind of keeping things loose. And again, a lot of Dynamesh. The head is shaped like a pyramid, so we're going to start getting that shape blocked out as soon as possible. I'm going to be moving pretty quickly to get through this design, so if any of my students are like, what is happening? Do not be shy, ask questions. I have no problem repeating things that I'm doing. It's not necessarily meant to be like a sculpt with me, but I still want my students to have some idea of what's going on and how they could do this themselves. I believe the eyes are front facing. We'll worry about that as we go. Hashtag blame Foxy. I love it. So I'm sculpting the top part of the head right now. And now we're going to move on to the bottom. I'm just going to duplicate the head and rotate it 180 degrees. It completely like wrapped on itself, so I'm going to do this again, but without symmetry. There we go. I'm not using any special or custom brushes for any of this. This is just quite literally all the defaults that are already in ZBrush. If I use anything that's not already here, I'll let you guys know. Looks kind of pterodactyl-y right now. It's so important when you're in these early stages to just have fun with your shapes, especially with a creature as intense as this. You can kind of see I'm finding some like little landmarks here. I'm starting to get the eye blocked in, maybe a cheekbone of sorts. But I'm not spending too much time refining any one shape. And everything that I'm adding is very intentional. I'm not trying to rush myself or feel like I need to get into details at this moment. We're just going with shapes. I kind of look at what's the next big thing that's missing and then I add it. And I don't mean to like downplay what I'm doing because I understand that it's very difficult to sculpt. I just mean sometimes overcomplicating it is also your enemy. Just have fun with it. Don't expect it to look like anything. You're too early for that. Like how good is it possibly, oh that's odd, we'll do one tongue. How good is it possibly going to look when it's, you know, doesn't have any teeth. If you took all my teeth out, I'd look ridiculous too. I've noticed that a lot of, not just my students, but just artists in general have a really hard time in 3D in the early stages. Like they're so uncomfortable with how silly it looks. But that's like, in my opinion, one of the most fun parts because I know it's not going to look like anything. So I can really just take my time and have fun. So I encourage you guys, just like grab a drink, grab a snack, kick back, and watch some cool art happen. Oh, I saw that Just Lingual lost some of their work earlier. Just a reminder, Just Lingual, if you click comma for Lightbox and then click right here, quick save, you might have your work saved. You might not have lost it. Let me know if that works out for you. If not, I got one more thing I can have, one more place I can have you look where you might find it. Because losing your work is no fun, even if you had a really good attitude about it. Next, we're going to start adding these gums, and to do that, I am going to use my mask brush, hold down Control, and then just extrude these little marks here. You don't want to just stick teeth into a head. You do want to have gums of some sort. It always makes it look better, I promise. You'll notice that I'm extremely low poly here too. Just makes your life easier. All right, this is the first custom brush that I'm bringing in here. This is from Flipped Normals. And it's just an insert toothbrush. I like this because there's a lot of different types of teeth, so I can kind of iterate different types really quickly. We're gonna go with something maybe fanged up front, and then I'll probably add some more shark-like teeth as I get farther back. Oh, you were a nomad. Oh, goodness. I'm excited there's a way to save work in ZBrush, though. Oh, good. Optimistical says, all better. Hello. I'm glad that's working. Just Single says, I watched the UI video and I'm starting to get used to the program. Oh, excellent. Are you ready for your next assignment? Because I can send that your way right now if you like. If not, continue sculpting along a nomad and just having fun. But yes, don't feel like you need to do too much on your own, Just Lingual. I have all of those early fundamentals broken down for you, so you won't have to figure out literally anything on your own quite yet. That will come later when you have to make a bunch of artistic decisions on your own. But easy stuff like navigating the software and whatnot, I got all that covered for you. So for the bottom teeth, I simply took these and flipped them 180 degrees because I'm not feeling too picky about what the teeth are going to look like right now. We are so early in concepting. Just want to start getting these shapes in good enough to where I can figure out if it's even going to look good or if I even want there to be teeth there. Maybe I don't even want the mouth open. It's very free form when you're starting. There we go. All right, Just Single says, I would like the next assignment. I like trials by fire and hopping in. Sounds good. Let me go ahead and grab that for you. I got everything all saved and ready to go, so it's really easy for me to do that. All right, your next assignment, Just Lingual, is going to be navigation. And now I'll show you how to move around and whatnot. And like always, if you want to do more, watch more of the videos, you can, but I don't, I'm not worried about that. Goodness, where are you? I have just a million people I talk to right now. I'm gonna just type in your name, make my life easier. Haha. There you go. Enjoy. I think I can add some more height. Again, don't mumble when you sculpt. Remind yourself like to push these shapes and be interesting. There we go. Ooh, it kind of gives me this vibe. Yeah, it absolutely does. And again, a reminder, especially if you're new and just watching or tuning in my stream for the first time, I am so open to feedback and creative ideas and just memes, jokes, greatness. Feel free to just put stuff in here, and by the end of the stream, you'll see how everyone influenced the design just a little bit. We got a cool thing going on here. It's really fun. So I'm missing some of the sleekness that I want. So I'm going to start playing with moving some of these shapes further back. I'm also not sure how I want the eye to relate to the rest of the head quite yet. I'm already decently happy with what I have here. There's using move and back face mask to kind of give some interesting textures. Awesome. Well, isn't he cute? Let's go ahead and start figuring out a color scheme. I think we can go with rich greens and then like a very purplish pink mouth to contrast. It's gonna be very cool. Optimistical says, I am Evil Bob. Oh, cool. Hello, Evil Bob. I'm gonna call you that because it's more fun and shorter than Optimistical Studios. Yeah, your jewelry is incredible. I want to show it off if you don't mind. I just thought this was the coolest thing. We have so many different like crafters and makers and stuff, and I really, really enjoyed these. Like, these are beautiful. Awesome. But there was one of these, yeah, this one, it kind of reminds me of the Dragon Age Inquisition symbol. That's what I thought of when I saw it. And that honestly kind of reminds me of my wedding ring. But yeah, extremely, extremely cool. We're so happy to have you here, part of the community. We do have a summer art fest going on. I know jewelry takes a long time, but like, you're more than welcome to submit any bits of jewelry that you've made or whatnot. All mediums are accepted. And it's not a competition. It's just like a fun thing that we do. There we go. Let's really get this a nice point. All right, we're gonna keep this pretty messy with a lot of these shapes here because I'm creating something so unusual and something so new. It's kind of like sketching. I don't mind if I get some odd forms here. Every now and then especially, it might inspire a different idea. Oh, also when you're painting, avoid going with colors that are too saturated. It just makes your life harder, trust me. You wanna be more in this desaturated area. All right, let's go with kind of this, I think it was in the description of this request was like an opalescent sort of green. I think this mouth is already kind of pushing it with how purple this tongue is. Let's go with more of a bluish color. There we go. I'll desaturate a touch here, and then we'll have a third color, which is going to be this whitish yellow teeth. Great, and that will probably be our color palette. I work with pretty simple colors because I am a sculptor, not much of a painter. I'm not great with color, which is a-okay. Something I'm slowly getting better at. All right, so let's review this head description. Actually, let me get this a little more pyramid-y. There we go. Again, so the head, the prompt is shape the head as a sleek angular pyramid. Add a narrow anteater-like snout for a closed mouth. I'm gonna do open. Design the mouth to open though by unfolding lower and side sections like petals, revealing serrated metallic teeth inside. Include a long whip-like tongue coiled within the mouth. I'm gonna have it open. And then the head creates the geometric patterns that distinguish from different individuals. So for the geometric patterns, we can do stuff kind of like this throughout. But for now, I have some of this like petal-like thing that they describe, but not a ton. So let's add more of that petal-like thing that was described here. So I just used my curve 2 brush here. Also, most of the requests are not nearly this intense. Do not give me requests like this on Patreon. This is kind of a joke that I'm doing this. Just to be clear, that's what makes this a weird special event by all means. I don't mind detail, I don't mind that, but this is insane. All right, here is one of those kind of petals I'm kind of toying with a shape of here. And then we're going to duplicate a few of them to give an interesting layered effect. It looks like this lost symmetry at one point. Let's go ahead and mirror and weld that. There we go. Excellent. And then Evil Bob says, I love your stuff. I've been a Patreon supporter for ages. I'm trying to get more involved in the community. I thought I recognized the name, not Evil Bob, but Optimistical Studios. That makes me very happy. Thank you so much, seriously. My part-time job and my full-time self-employment job are both jewelry, so I'm probably working on something. Ooh, awesome. Well, you're welcome to share literally anytime. And I'm happy that you're a little more active in the community too. I mean, life gets busy, so absolutely no pressure, but we have so many cool creatives, and again, you'd fit right in. Eloa says, actually, the more I look at this request, the more I get the psychological feel from it, similar to Silent Hill Monster. Yes, explains the crazy features and monstrous design. It's the mind gone wild. Yes, I'm so glad that, like, you skim through the request and you're like, it's kind of messy. And then, like, now that I'm starting to bring it to life, like, you're starting to see what I see, you know? Which makes me very, very happy. Again, when I first got the request, I thought, I didn't see anything. I was like, what? I'm like, I guess I'll try it. But by now, I'm feeling ready. All right, we have serrated metallic teeth inside, done. Open the mouth, design the mouth to open by unfolding lower and side sections like petals. I don't know if I'm nailing that quite yet, also with the pyramid shape, but I'm getting close. There are a couple things in this request that are like low-key kind of contradictory, but that is a-okay. That is part of my job to make it make sense. I'm gonna add a little bit of two-tonedness here. Hey, ZBrush is here. Hello, hello. We're working on a very special request today from Foxy. Alright, so for the eyes, place 2 pairs of primary eyes on opposite sides of the head and make them autonomous and expressive. Sure. Capable of independent movement. I have no way to show that other than making them look googly-eyed. I'm not going to do that. But I will make 2 that they're on sides. And then a second dairy set of insect-like eyes on the top and bottom of the head. Keep them recessed and mostly closed. Okay, so we're going to work on these ones first. Let's go ahead and get some eyeballs in here. I'll go with black eyes. He might be meaning this with the jaws split apart. Maybe, but then that kind of counteracts the pyramid aspect, you know? I hear what you're saying though. Again, there's a couple things in this request that are a little contradictory. But really awesome all the same. All right, so I have this shape here. We're gonna start creating these eyelids, and to do that, I simply duplicate. There we go. And I'm gonna split these in half. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and maybe I'll shape them a little more. No, just the half has been working well for me. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah, do any of y'all have any special 4th of July plans? I'm not sure if we're actually gonna do anything firework related. We might go down the lake, I'm not sure. I find this to be the easiest way to do eyelids, and I really encourage you guys when you're sculpting to make eyelids separate subtools. When you try to sculpt them into the head, unless you really know what you're doing, it's a bit difficult. Okay, I feel like I'm understanding this fan thing a little bit more. Yeah, okay. Let me duplicate these. I do not like the front view I've got going on yet, but I got a lot of time to work on that. Can we figure out a front view that would look cool? It's also pyramid. Yeah. Every time I start moving this around, I just end up opening its mouth more and more and more. So let's go ahead and push that even further now, so that way I don't feel it's stuck right here. I can really start to mess with this opening petal nonsense, which is really cool. There we go. You can kind of have them intersect there a little bit. All right, I'm not crazy about the front of it. I do like what we're starting to figure out on the side though. Let's go ahead and merge these down and go with a dark color here. And now I have these eyeballs. I can start to move around to concept. And the reason why I added these in now is because I was I knew I was at a point where I was like, okay, figuring out how the eyes are going to fit into this can help me a lot. All right, what makes sense here? What creature am I trying to go off of? I'm going to use move and back face mask to just continue to kind of pull some shapes around. I feel like I want to have the eyes actually really small and up front. Again, the head is supposed to be pyramid shaped, so I don't want to lose that. That's looking better. I'm starting to like kind of develop this top mantle here. It reminds me of like, oh, what are they called? A horseshoe crab? You guys know what I'm talking about? We're gonna take these eyes, instead of having them up here where they're big and kind of googly, we're gonna make these little eyes maybe just kind of slit in here. They look more like nostrils. Look how silly he looks. Ron Swanson's mustache is back. Welcome back. Hey Mia, how did you select certain subtools at the same time to move them together, although the lower jaw and tongue and teeth? So they are one subtool because I merged them down, but yeah, they're different. They recognize different polygroups. So I went ahead and just merged them down really quickly so I can move them all at once. You could alternatively put them in a folder, but I hate using folders. Yeah. The eyes do sound like they're a little bit chameleon-esque. I don't know what we're going to do with that quite yet. I'm also not going to deal with symmetry right now. Sometimes I find that annoying. I'm very entertained by this little face thing I have going on here. I'm probably not going to keep it. I'm just having fun. Maybe I will keep it. I don't know. I just know if I figure out a lot of the primary forms on the head, a lot of this is going to come together. Speaking of, I want to go ahead and add a bit of a palette here. There we go. Adding little secondary forms like this are so important. It's just going to make everything look more coherent. And of course, making the inside of the mouth darker. The head's getting a little too fanned out. I'm okay with that. Oh, I like those ridges there. That is really cool. That actually might play into our design. And chameleons have more of a pyramid-shaped head than I was realizing. Good one, Reaper. Good one. Can it have spider-like eyes? Oh, it will. It will. If you go up to the top here, I'm going to go ahead and pin this comment so you guys can look at this at any time. I have the entire description of this absolute ridiculous monstrosity we're making. There's going to be a lot of eyes. The shape of the head right now and these little eyes are kind of reminding me of, oh my gosh, it's like one of the first monsters you see in the web. You guys read webtoons or webcomics? Tower of God. Yeah. Hey, Foxy's here. And they're beeping. We are getting started on, you know, the splendor. It's happening. Very early on, but I think I got something to look at here. I do like the lower eye set here. You know, it totally looks like creatures I've made before. Not. Again, when I first read this request last year, I really just think it was outside of my skill set, or not skill set, but like, yes, skill set. I really just did not have the chops to figure this out. I think I got the chops now, and if not, well, we're gonna have a fun time working on it today at least. There we go. All right, well, that was a fun kind of start here. Let's keep working on it. Let's review. Again, so shape the head as a sleek, angular pyramid. Add a narrow anteater-like snout for a closed mouth, which we're not really going to worry about too much because, I mean, it actually is quite narrow. I'm going with a mouth open, so it's going to be pretty insane looking. Let me go ahead and just make these longer, though. I want to make sure this is really angular. There we go. Very pyramid. I got 2 layers going on here. All right, so this is fun shapes happening. Okay, continuing, design the mouth to open by unfolding lower and side sections like petals, which I took more on the literal side here. I quite like them. Include a long whip-like tongue coiled in the mouth. Got it. And then the head will be creased with geometric patterns. That'll be a secondary form or detail that we'll add later on. Not worried about it quite yet. We just want sleek and gnarly looking. Cool. Place 2 pairs of primary eyes on opposite sides of the head, which is these, and then make them autonomous, which I can get more of that chameleon-like look by duplicating this eyeball, dynameshing it perhaps, and placing it behind the eye. I just see this. Perfect, because that's exactly what I have on my reference board right now. There we go. By kind of adding this ring on the side, it's going to give more of that chameleon look. I don't want to go too crazy with it, because I do want this shape on top here to win. Does that make sense? There you go. Might keep it, I might not. I won't know until I do it. Nah, I don't like it. Not the problem. I'm just trying it out. Sweet. The next thing is there's going to be another set of eyes that are more insect-like on the top and bottom of the head. Keep them recessed and mostly closed. Great. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. First thing we're going to do is make sure that they're mostly closed. So let's go ahead and just take our move brush here and kind of scoot this closed. Insect-like, I don't totally know what that means. Probably just like perfectly round then. Like spider eyes or just like little orbs. So even though it's mostly closed, why can't I grab the freaking eyelid? There you go. All right, we're gonna, bam, fix this issue. Kind of like that. Yeah, but then they said mostly closed, which insects don't have eyelids. You see what I mean? Thank you, Reaper, though. You're killing it. You've been super helpful. And these are on top and on bottom of the head. So let's kind of put them in a non-traditional spot. This will be the top part. And then why not have the bottom ones as well? Cute little spiders. I really just don't care for the eyelid part. Just doesn't make any sense. That's not what insect eyes look like. It says insect-like eyes on the top and bottom, keep them recessed and mostly closed. Maybe something like that. Okay, I can see that. Hey, Taka's here. Hello, hello. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on a holiday. Already had a much bigger turnout than I expected. I figured this would be a quiet stream, which nothing wrong with that. because it makes the front look really dumb, you know? All right, we're taking some Mia artistic liberties. Because I like the multiple sets of eyes, for sure. We'll have them recessed, but we're gonna have them fit in places that make sense. Like there's a crux right here. Gonna add a few more. And then another. The set on the bottom I just think is a fun detail. I don't think most people will read them like eyes, and that's totally fine. I'm gonna look at this too. I'm putting a lot of eyeballs on here. I don't intend to keep them all. I just want to make sure I know where I want to place these. There we go, that already looks way cooler. Very cool. Fox said, sorry, I had a phone call almost as soon as I joined. Not a problem. Reaper says, do they ever say the main set of eyes had to be so close to the snout? Because you could do it like a dinosaur. You have all the information that I've got. So no, they don't say that, but I really like the flow of this. I really think if I end up with just an eyeball right here, I don't know, just not speaking to me as much. I like where it's at. Taka says, I was about to ask what holiday, and then I remembered, yes, American holiday. Alrighty. Probably going to use a bit of color spray throughout this design too. Oh, definitely. Let's go with a much darker purple. Darker. There we go. Loving all the references. Yeah, this request is going to need a lot of them. I think this has a really good start. We have some interesting shape language here. It's not quite as sci-fi as I think they might have intended for. But you know what? But if they're anything like Foxy, I think they'll just be tickled to see somebody interpret this. I don't think they're going to be too picky on what it actually ends up looking like, as long as I'm thoughtful about it. Let's go ahead and split this jaw into its own piece, getting a little too low poly to manage. Let's do a slight concavity to this. There we go. Excellent. Not helpful, but found it goofy. Alrighty, let's move on here to the neck and body. Create a long, flexible neck that rises gracefully from the body. Shape the body upright and powerful, resembling a theropod dinosaur. Theropod dinosaur in the chat, go. I have no idea what that looks like. What's next? I assume like the long neck thing. Cover the body with tiny opalescent scales or refract light in a rainbow-like glow. Alrighty. So glad that's easy request. All right, we are going to turn on symmetry. I'm going to go ahead and use my curve brush to figure this out. I am also going to lock the start of it so I can pull a bunch of different shapes from this. So I'm going to click on lock start. Why aren't you continuing? There we go. Theropod. We got a couple here. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, sweet. So I did have the right thing in mind. Okay, they're all like theropod. Is there a dinosaur that's not a theropod? I like it. I love when I tell you guys, like, hey, I need a reference for this. You guys just, like, you do it. I don't know. I'm surprised every time. I really appreciate it. I do not take it for granted at all. All right, and they mentioned upright and kind of, I mean, it's really just like a beautiful horrifying creature. All right, so we got this curve. It pulls straight back off the head and then up. I actually had the same problem when figuring out my secretary bird yesterday, and I figured it wasn't because it wasn't high enough, that break in the joint. So it's got to be right here. See, this point is kind of looking at. I'm gonna add these spots to kind of give me a reference point. There we go. I'm gonna start mirroring this pyramid-like head in the chest as well. There's a lot of shapes that, in order for this all to make the most sense, I'm gonna need to mirror them in other places. One of them being this pyramid thing. Otherwise, it's gonna look like a normal crazy monster with a pyramid head, and we don't want that. We want it to, the kind of shape language to be seen in other parts of this creature. So I have a very strong front spine. I'm kind of blocking out there with Dam Standard. And looks like I'm starting to kind of pull off of what would be almost like a shoulder blade. See what I mean? And then same thing here. I want to make sure that I'm going to pull a nice sharp point. I'm going to use Move and Backface Mask to achieve that. Having this really strong chest is just going to make him look really cool too. All right, I got something interesting here. It's probably not quite long enough of a neck still. Interesting. I have the curve here, but I feel like I don't have it pushed forward. There we go. Enough either. Okay. It's pretty freaking cool. The way that this request would have just eaten me up for breakfast, y'all. No crumbs in a bad way. But I've done so many hard sculpts in the last year. I'm like, oh, sure. What is it? Okay, I can figure it out. Just give me time. Foxy says, me and my GM are weirdly very similar in thinking pattern. I have on multiple occasions been accused of being psychic. Sounds like me with my mods. Ooh, Foxy said, me, I may not have made it to the request, but in the game's lore, there are references to people writing these. Ooh, okay, cool. And yeah, so theropod, so it's two-legged. I mean, this thing's not going to be. This thing has 8 legs. But yes, we will figure that out. Speaking of leg and back, let's figure this out. Again, it's a very long creature with a long tail, but since it is going to be two, like a theropod, I can work with that now. Okay, yes. Let me append some more shapes here. I'm just going to bring in a sphere, Dynamesh, and just start pulling this shape around. I'm going to structure it as if, ooh, that's going to make it very upset because I Dynameshed a monster. Relax. Here we go. I'm going to pretend like it's just going to have like 2 front legs and 2 back legs, but stacked kind of like this. Anyone else think it looks cute? That doesn't surprise me at all coming from Eloa. Mirror and weld. Get some strong shoulder blades, and then somewhere like where a saddle could fit would be really cool. It's gonna look like a chicken. It's happening. It's getting chickenified. Aren't like chickens actually related to T-Rexes? All right, and then also it's a very long tail with like a rudder of sorts. So let's go ahead and stretch tail out, mirror and weld, and then figure out this shape as well. I think we're going to have something pretty cool by the end of this. The trick is just not to let the sculpt run away from you too much. As insane as the request reads, it's actually based on a lot of like real creatures. I've forgotten what a rudder looks like, so we're going to just do a funny little shape here to remind myself later. I want this to be much more fan-like, but I don't think that's the request. The tail. Add a longitudinally flat, long tail to be used as a rudder at high speeds. The back jumping are parallel and in contact with the tail when at rest. Ensure the long flexible tail sways for balance. Okay. So it is long and flat, which is great because I was wanting that as well. I think that fits this character or creature. And this is going to be roughly horse-sized. So let's go ahead and give it a front, a belly area, just so I can work from this, and then a hindquarter. And I'm going to need to adjust quite a lot of this, I'm sure. I appreciate none of y'all. No backseat sculpting, especially with something like this. This is going to be so much fun. All right, let's start figuring out these legs a little bit, just get some proportions going. So there's 8 legs. The front arms are long and human-like with joints for fine manipulation. Okay, I do have a set of monster legs I can iterate from pretty quickly. Monster hands, whatever. Here we go. I know this is gonna save me a ton of time. And human-like, we're gonna make sure it doesn't at least have 5 fingers because I think that would be jarring, but long and nimble, yes. Let's go ahead and append these. I'm probably gonna look at this reference quite a lot, actually. Thank you for that one, Foxy. We have a lot of pieces to figure out here, and sometimes just adding them all at once, even though it seems chaotic, does make your life a lot easier. Using a lot of move and backface mask to quickly change these shapes. I do think these being kind of bent up, like in this reference Foxy gave, is gonna be the way to go. Something kind of like that, and then we can kind of drape these hands down. Just as an early look. Not worried about anything being too smushed or whatnot. There we go. There's a start. The neck is a little short too. Let's go ahead and stretch this out. Something really cool is if I get all these pieces in here, I can move into Transpose Master and move them all around really easily. There we go. What is next? Chickens are the closest living relative, meaning they have the soonest shared ancestor, but they're not related, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, I absolutely know what you're saying. Hello, I love it. Thanks. Foxy says bone and muscle structure references can be useful. You taught me that. Love it. I am confused or confuzzled by the reverse joint arms. Does he mean digitigrade? I didn't really know either. I see the rear ones. Rear legs are stubby, simple, robust, and clawed, designed for gripping and leaping. They only extend backwards. I think they're like this, but flipped 180 degrees. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. Or we'll ask Foxy to do it for us. starting to bring in anywhere where I can see this like triangle shape starting to happen. I'm gonna bring that shape forward. It's gonna make it, the thing make sense. Also going to use my damn sander brush to strike out the shape on this chest to make it like quite literally a pyramid. I guess it's not a pyramid because it doesn't have a square base, but whatever. You know what I mean? Triangle, diamond, shape. Fox says, I know no more than any of you. All information on creatures already been shared in the chat. Yeah, but you outed yourself and said that you and the requester, the GM that you got this from, think very alike. So therefore, you have all the answers. You did this to yourself. All right, that's a pretty good start, I think. We got 1 pair of legs done. On to the next one. There's 8 legs total, so 4 pairs. All right, front arms are done. Long and human-like with joints from fine manipulation. I kind of exaggerate them a little bit, but I can do that, so that's good enough. Retractable wings hidden within. Okay, if they are hidden, I'm not sculpting them. I feel like that's fair. Middle legs, reverse jointed, built for speed and agility, 2 pairs. I think they mean digitigrade. They mean this. I mean, that's how my knee bends. That's not reverse. What? What? I don't know what that means. Do I have legs by chance? On legs. What is it? What even is this? This is just somewhere in ZBrush. Nope, no thanks. I don't need that. Thank you though. These are all arms. But this claw I think I might use later as well. What about feet? No? Boo. Alright. More sculpting. That is what I do. Wait, who was that blobby boy? I honestly have no idea. It was somewhere. If you load in leg, it's somewhere in like Zizu, I think. Okay. This is looking pretty cool so far. All right, legs. Oh wait, 21 new messages. Sassy dino, a little bit, yeah. All right, I'm starting to sculpt these sort of legs. What is this, Eloa? I missed that. What is this? Fox says, my guy would know the difference between retrograde and digigrade. I have no idea why they would put in reverse. They don't mean just like literally normal legs that are just backwards, do they? Well, let's do some leg nonsense together, y'all, and we'll see if we'll figure it out. Also, Foxy, if your GM sees this and likes it, tell me about it. If they actually it, just don't even tell me about it. I'm having so much fun with this. I'm gonna love whatever I come up with. As long as you like it, that's kind of all I care about, honestly. And I think, since you mentioned that you and your GM are very similar, I'm pretty sure if I can get your approval on it, they're gonna like it too. That's my logic anyway. I'm just sculpting these legs because giving this normal like human feet is just too much. I cannot. I'm definitely going for almost kind of like an insect look because this otherworldliness I think is important to achieve. What in the world are the feet gonna look like? I feel like I didn't get any feet directions. Nope, no feet except for built for speed and agility, 2 pairs. Okay. And the rear are robust and clawed. Okay. Are any of these kind of like meld into... Okay, this is a really weird shape, but it's going to save me time. Therefore, I want it. There we go. I really want this like odd foot thing. Because if I sculpt it, I'm going to make it look like something I've done before, right? Unless I find a different reference. So I'm trying to kind of kit bash some tools that I have here. And when I think agile, I want something that's like small and grippy. I also think that adding in this like lizard-like element of foot is gonna convey that. It's also really weird, and I'm a big fan of that. Comparison of bird leg to human leg. This is what comes up when searching reverse jointed. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, it's... Well, sweet. Okay, that's actually very similar to what I made. But you know what? Let's just push it farther to just match this reference. Why not? More structured like this. Yeah, something kind of like big cat-like as far as feet go. I think that'd be cool. And now making it more lizard-like, but don't you worry, we have a whole nother set of legs we haven't touched yet that I can do that with. But wait, there's more. Do you think if I gave this to Ricky to pose, he'd quit? He's like, that's a Mia job. He would not be wrong. This is for sure a my problem one. We're gonna snug that up under what I guess is the shoulder blade. I'm gonna put these out to the side-ish. We got some legs. It's happening. I'm definitely gonna give him like a back sail thing, which is in the description anyway, and I agree. I think that actually suits this monster really well. I'm gonna strike out that shape a little bit now, and now figure out what's going on with this butt situation. Because we still need to add another set of legs. Stop running from me. 3D Gizmo was like, no. There we go. I also want some sort of like sail. They mentioned that this is going to allow them to change direction quickly. So we do want it to be quite sail-like. Hey, Zephar's here. Hello, hello. Raptor toes with tippy tap toes. Yes. Hello, I'm Mia, the Theropod crew is 5 members strong and demand a private area of the tavern for privacy. To talk about what? You should give it human feet just to see what it would look like. I'm doing this just because Jasingle asked nicely. We're not actually going to do this, but Jasingle is like, what if it had human feet? So you guys are now going to know what this looks like with human feet. Like that? What do we think? Is this the answer? Beautiful. It's something. Oh my goodness. I prefer the human feet. No, you don't. All in favor say aye. Oh my god. We're not doing human feet. No. There. Human feet, raptor claws. Still no. Let's add some of this fun kind of purplish poly paint spray. Just Lingual has saved it for posterity's sake. Beautiful. You can see how excited Mia is in this screenshot. Oh wow, I really did make that face, didn't I? Can't see it. You don't need to. Beautiful. All right, where are these back feet? Scroll up to see cursed reference. Where? What if I had tongues all over the body? Oh, no. No. This just gives me Avatar vibes. Thank you. Hey, Ross here. This is monstrous. I love it. Yes, I knew you'd like it. The full description of this is in Discord. I have it under the pinned messages right now. This ridiculous monstrosity. That's what we're making right now. Blame Foxy. Yes. This is gorgeous. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. This actually makes a lot of sense, and it actually is quite similar to the feet I have right now, minus the claws. Ooh. Okay. Is that what they mean by reverse? Just like arms? Okay. I don't know, but I'm really intrigued. We're gonna go ahead and just add even more legs here because we're still missing one set. If you could believe that. We're gonna have 8 legs by the time we're done with this. Oh my goodness, no. These have become the same piece. Devastation. Go away. Stop it. ZBrush is like, I will not stop. Only problems. There you go. Cursed ref. I always thought digitigrade was robot legs. Ugh, God. I've seen this before. I don't like this. Yes, I don't like this. I don't know which one's the worst. It does help me understand it, but I hate it. Thank you. So far, says, I feel like the cover has chaos energy today, and I love it. It absolutely does. We're going for kind of a ridiculous stream here today. It's gonna be a fun one. Rob said, just saying, drop in and say happy 4th. I miss you guys. We miss you too. But we got lots and lots of streaming to do in the future, so don't you worry. There'll be plenty of time to hang out. Foxy says, oh God, no, bad Foxy, you've been so good. I think the rear legs need to be right at the back, and the middle 2 sets should probably be closest together and towards the front. Nuh-uh, we are not doing any backseat sculpting. He doesn't. Really? I know you know better. Look at this. We're so close to being, we're so close to being done, obviously. Just Single says, this isn't a spider, but because it has 8 legs, I will count it as part of the ongoing spider evolution. Whatever makes you happy. How it feels to step on a Lego. I love that. Yeah, Foxy, this back leg isn't even touching the body right now. Calm yourself. Love the energy, but no, I don't. All right, so the back leg, let's read this description. Stubby, simple, robust, and clawed, designed for gripping and leaping, and they only extend backwards. So that makes me think that they look like this, you know? And then stubby, in order to make them stubby, we actually need to make the back of this creature slope downwards pretty dramatically, which I think could be awesome. Yeah, it's stubby. I think kind of like a weird downward sloping creature could be really cool. Ooh, yeah, from Senua's Sacrifice. Cool. Fafnir. That's so cool. Gross. I love all the inspiration. Like, I can see bits of this model in all of these right now. Why this Dynamesh lower? It's like, nope, I am this resolution. No, you're not. Okay. Foxy, sorry, Mia. It's A-okay. Needs a long necklace. Eloa, don't even with me. Pizza. And you will not elaborate. This is actually weirdly similar to what we're doing in a lot of ways. With the pyramid kind of shaped head. Huh. Okay. Oops. Okay, are the back legs actually just backwards? They only extend backwards. Okay, I mean, that's how this would work, biomechanics-wise. It goes this way. Or do they mean they only extend backwards, like... Why is this request so confusing? Like this, like they only move backwards. That makes more sense. We might just do this because it's cool and it can make it really short and stubby, and then we'll do everything else except literally putting it on backwards, because I don't think that's what they meant, and I'm just not quite figuring it out. And that's okay. All right, I think this got too big in the scene, and that's why it's like being difficult to sculpt on. So I just made it a little bit smaller. Let's see if it fixes itself. No, it did not. Why are you being like this? Meep. All right, I'm gonna go to Deformation Unify, because like there's something weird going on with my scene right now. It's acting like it's gigantic, and it's not. Yeah, you're just in the totally wrong spot. Okay. We're gonna briefly merge everything down, and then we're gonna remove the feet amongst other problems here. There, just merging everything down briefly, just so I can put it back in the scene. There we go. Oh, we lost his mouth. I could have done this in Transpose Master too, but I'm just choosing problems today. Unify. There we go. And the reason I did this is because the whatchamacallit, Dynamesh was acting totally dumb, because Dynamesh is sensitive to the size of your scene. So yes. Okay, we're starting to get like the more of this cat-like elegance with this dropped hip, which is really cool. I like that. I'm not totally certain how I want to shape this back hip thing, so I'm just gonna use the move brush and start making shapes. Shapes. Oh, sweet. Just Single said, honest holiday dice roll for even more chaos. Also, thank you for the stream. It's fun to have something to do for us that don't have other plans. Hell yeah. Let's do it. By the way, Mia, have you saved? Yes. And we're gonna do that D20 roll. Splendor, all caps. And yeah, because it's not problematic enough, let's get a dice roll in here. Christ. I have to sneeze. Woo. Tremors mentioned. Alrighty, y'all. If you are new here, we got a fun little thing called the D20 of Destiny. It triggers one of 20 unexpected twists, and you decide it by rolling a D20. I just have it online. All kind of boring like, mostly so I can't fudge the results, because I totally would otherwise. Alrighty. Eloa, I agree. Last time we did this, Just Lingual got a natural 20, which is why we're doing this abomination today in the first place. So let's see what happens now. Alright. Okay, so afraid to be a 20. I'm like, don't be a 20. And it is 12. Let's get fancy. Jewelry, belt pouch, amulet, satchel, etc. Everyone in the chat, Just Lingual will have the final say. But you guys can start thinking of a cute little accessory for this guy. We're not actually going to keep it probably, but I mean, you can straight up add a funny hat. You can add a necklace. You can add, I don't know, earrings, piercings, whatever y'all want. Anything within the realm of being fancy. Oh, it is first roll of the day. I did not give them advantage. It was such a good, simple, non-chaotic request. All right. You do get advantage. It's your first one. 5. You can also pick demon transformation, add horns, scale. No, we already have this. Never mind. That one doesn't work for you because it already has a tail and scales. You could add horns, so that's your only other option if you wanted that. So yes. Reaper, these guys are supposed to carry people. You could add a saddle. Please don't do that to me. And thank you so much, Lingual, seriously. Reaper, you have been a hoot recently. More hootier than usual. I'm curious what kind of... A small top hat is my vote. We can do that. And again, if it actually looks really good, maybe we'll keep it on the final model, but you guys are welcome to add like a top hat. Whatever you like. I'm sure Just Lingual's cooking, thinking of something fun. And I went ahead and added that to our pool. Anytime someone donates, it's working towards a Taver pet. And if you're like, what is that? It's pretty much like a little cute chibi model that I make for everyone. But yes, there we go. The saddle makes a lot of sense. A Gucci purse is iconic. A top hat is very dapper. It sounds like you guys have a lot to talk about. A hood? Yes. Very hooty. You guys got time, so. I do think these legs have a nice flow to them, all considering. Where is my 3D gizmo? Why are we lost today, ZBrush? Stop it. You're okay. He could have a purse hanging from his elbow. He's got sassy arm going on. I am most interested in the purse idea that Reaper just put forward, but ultimately Just Lingual has the final say. Let's scoot these arms forward a little bit, and then we can kind of have, I don't know what to call an arm or a leg at this point. And I do think that these should be slightly different in size. We are not putting a booty on this. Overruled. I'm gonna have to add that to the D20 Destiny rolls. Or it'll just say cake. Alright, we're starting to add some more triangle shapes here, mostly because I find that rounded triangles are my friend. Definitely think that this neck should be even longer still. Gosh, this is horrifying. Okay. Like, what if it was just more, you know? I know it's getting ridiculous, but it's gonna have to get ridiculous before it makes sense. I feel like I just made this larger. I didn't like change the proportions. You have to be really careful about that when you're trying to change a shape. If you just make everything equally larger, you didn't change the proportions. You just scaled up. I do think that looks better though overall, I think. All right, are we doing purse? Is that your final decision? All right, we're giving him a cute little purse. And I'm assuming it's got to be like right here in the crux of the arm. Okay. I'm gonna make this arm even bigger, just so we don't miss it. I also don't think I have a single purse in my asset library because why would I? If you guys have a specific purse you want me to sculpt, you're welcome to put it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and do that. Verdict has been reached. He wants the purse. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and just start designing a purse, unless you guys have something specific in mind. One of these things is not like the other. All right, we're gonna start with a ring. I'm gonna ZBrush a few times because he's got to have some sort of little, you know, thing. Little tiny purse. Oh my gosh. I'm a big fan. This is gonna be the best purse you guys have ever seen. Are you ready? I actually think the orange color specifically, just by happenstance, was a really good pick. And Gucci's outrageous $980 AirPods Max case doubles as a purse. Jesus. AirPod purse. Reaper's been the goat on references recently. Was it just one strap? I don't know how a purse works. Oh, it's actually tapered this way. Ah, I see. This is so stupid. All right, that roughly looks like that. I would say so. Go ahead and add some like wrapped stitching lines because it looks like it's got some sort of pattern on it. Kind of like a loose leather here or something. What are we thinking? It is 2 straps. Okay, 1 for each side. I'm gonna go ahead and add the little connecting piece here. Then we're gonna mirror and weld across the Y-axis because that's the side I think I'm facing. That or Z. It was Z. It's whatever. It's the opposite of whatever I think it's gonna be. That's fine. I am having way too much fun with this stupid thing. It's a nice break from this monster, I'm not gonna lie. All right, he's got a purse. It's orange. It's adorable. There's a little logo right here. I'm gonna go ahead and add a logo on this, and I'm gonna do like a really fancy cursive lingual. That's the brand. All right, how cursive can I get? You guys are gonna see. Bam. Gorgeous. It actually looks quite fancy. Also, I literally never write in cursive. That's not what my handwriting looks like. I write in all caps. If I was gonna write just lingual, I would write it like this. Oh, it looks insane because I write fast. That's how I write, like in real life. All right, I love it. We're adding the purse. Definitely making it to the final model at this point. And that's the D20 of Destiny. If you too would like to roll and cause problems, it is currently $7, I think? Yes. I feel like I should know. I do know. Gotta loop this over. Gotta make sure it fits. There we go. No shortcuts here. Okay, he has a little purse. Did you know some purses you can wear as a backpack? I believe it. Yes, you have your fancy branding. That came out so much nicer than it needed to be. I am not mad about it. It's awesome. Shans is here. Hello, hello. Welcome in. We just had a little interruption here. Just Lingual donated $10, so that gets a D20 of Destiny roll, and they got Let's Get Fancy, which means adding accessory. So everyone agreed on a little purse for our monster dino here. Eloa says, ah yes, and now it's time for the campaign's signature creature, the Hell from the Depths, the paddle-tailed lizard, reverse-legged dinosaur, and the multi-legged terror. It's Simon with a purse. Beautiful. It's gonna stay there until it's done. That's, yeah. Big fan. All right, I want the head to be more pyramid-y, and I want, yes, this. Beautiful. Just Lingual says, because I'm now a fancy brand, I would like for Lingual to pronounce either Linguan or Linguao, because the L at the end of the word in Thai is N or U, in Brazilian Portuguese, but only when referencing mi brand. That's great. That's great. Yes, if this boy is fancy now, it should be pronounced Simon. Simon? Simon? Simon. On today's episode of Me, I Can't Talk. And absolutely, they're definitely pyramid head inspo here, 100%. When I read the request, I was like, oh, that's absolutely how I'm going to interpret this. Foxy, you've made everyone's 4th of July fun. This has been a great holiday. And Just Lingual, thank you for taking that prior ticket and giving it to Foxy. This has been a delight. And as insane as this creature is, I feel like I know this has been a really cool stream to learn from too, as far as like creature design. It came together pretty easily. All right, the back foot was supposed to be clawed. Let's go ahead and do that. There, give him like a really dramatic little hook foot. Simon. Simon, with a silent H. Then why is it there? Simon. The updated screenshot should include the purse. Good, it better. My pyramid head I made, I finished this as it came across me for the first time. That's right. Pretty damn good still. I mean, I know you could do even better now, but like, this is still great. This is still super cool. Awesome. Just Lingual says, Simon should be the poster child for the next Kickstarter, obviously. Obviously. Okay, can I look at this? I'm like trying to, work and be art brain, and I'm looking around at this design so far. And then I get to the purse. I'm like, wait, what? Like, it's making my brain short circuit in the best way. I also think we need to flip these around. They are not reverse jointed. I did not do the thing quite yet. All right, the feet are separate. These are fine. But this, I really think should be flipped. I'm just gonna try it out. Like flipping this 180 degrees like this. Because then it looks more like the reference that Reaper shared, I think. Or is that just normal jointed again? Me is getting confused on reverse jointed because it doesn't make sense. Nah, that's fine. Nah, I like what we got. Okay, okay. Absolutely, Eloa, I agree. Fox says, Mia, do what seems coolest. I like it. Okay, sounds good. Let's think about these back sails. Okay, so again, just to give like a recap here, because I don't want to get, to me, the most important part of the request was at the fact at the very, very end, there's an overall aesthetic, which is really helpful actually. So that's what we want to hit the most. Overall aesthetic. Emphasize a sleek, predatory grace. Ensure the creature's form conveys both beauty and menace with a shimmering opalescent texture. Capture the essence of a primal, otherworldly predator. Which I think some of this is going pretty good with that. Definitely the purse. We haven't added these back sails. Let's add 2 small parallel bumps on the back of the shoulder, back at the shoulder height of the front arms, housing rectangular leathery sails. Design the sails to ripple and vibrate, capable of producing a low guttural sound. So in sculpting English for us, we're gonna add 2 things. There's gonna be bumps on the back of the shoulder, and then there's gonna have fans off the back of them. I feel like he looks like a dragon without wings. You're in luck. So I'm adding bumps. I definitely, this neck situation is, I tried to fix it or do cool stuff with it, and I literally just made the entire thing larger, which defeats the whole purpose of changing the proportions. Meep. We're not working on the neck right now, Mia. Okay. Taking these little bumps, and now we're gonna create these epic sails. And if it just totally muddies the design, we'll go without it, but I'd like to at least try. Micah says, I gotta sleep soon, so I'm gonna pop out for now before I fall asleep in my chair instead of with pillows and cooler room. It was cool to see the progression on this model. It's cool that you joined us. I hope you sleep good. All right, we're gonna add this fan-like shape. And to do that, I'm gonna use the curved quad brush. Curved quad fill. So they said it like ripples, which is cool. And they're sails, so, I think kind of like this that runs on the back of it or something. I think it'd be cool if it would even continue all the way back on the sides of this tail. I got an idea. Dynamesh this. I really need to make this single-sided before this becomes a disaster. So let's just scribble out this inner shape here and then delete everything. You're like, oh no, it looks worse. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. This is going to be the way to do this. Yeah, I know it's not symmetrical. Don't worry about it. Zero mesh. Thank you. Move back face mask. And just, this would be a really cool thing if I can figure this out. Yeah, kind of like dragonfly wings attached to the tail. Yes, you totally get what I'm going for, Eloa. Somebody sees the vision. To make my life a little easier here, I'm going to keep it really, really low poly, and then I'm actually going to add a crease and then see how Polish by Features handles it. There we go. So I did one, then Polish by Features. See how it's going to kind of like grab that shape for me? It just makes it a little easier for me to move this around. Also, why is Move and Backface Mask not working? Is it because I don't have any other polys? I guess. Okay. We're going to use Mask Lasso on the bottom side here. And then now I can use this shape to do whatever I want. And I'm looking at this reference pretty heavily. Thank you, Eloa. Keeping them kind of short is going to be important so that the silhouette does not just like fall apart here. But I swear, if I'm able to figure this out, it's going to be so freaking cool. Sean's, Mia, don't worry about it. Sean's, I'm worrying about it. Everybody stay calm. Empress, oh, Empress is here. I have stopped worrying about it like my second day here, to be honest. Aw, thank you. You better not be fiddling. I'm watching. Hello, Empress. Oh, and Yoni's here. Is that a praying mantis? Honestly, favorite comment of the day so far. Yes, this is what happens when you don't use references. Oh my goodness. I love it. What's that? Oh my gosh. Is this you DMing your GM? I hope so. It's happening. All right, I kind of want to add like some textures here. I just want to hide behind textures. Can I do that? You can't stop me. Okay, I'm not going to hide behind textures. I am simply going to do a design trial to see if this is worth it. The sale thing. I think it is. So I just want to like get a proof of concept really quick by adding like some little stripey stripes. That's my GM, yes. Should I be concerned that they have no idea what it is? That's okay. It has been like a year. Everybody stay calm. Also, I do think micropoly would be a cool thing to do here. Again, the back sails are retractable and leathery. They should be able to ripple and vibrate. Okay. I mean, at least I didn't ask for anything difficult. I'm being ridiculous by putting it all the way down the sides of the tail. I feel like that could be really cool if I can figure it out. I'm not figuring it out quite yet, but I'm trying. I feel like it would help if I like added some sort of like spines to it. I know there's a cool idea here. I just know it. You guys see how much I like sketch in 3D? I really encourage y'all to do the same kind of thing where like you don't know what you're doing? Great, none of us do. So just keep adding stuff and moving stuff around, but like intentional. It's not just totally random. I'm like, okay, maybe some sort of like spines will help. So I went ahead and did that. And now let's see what happens if I like connect them, you know? Because I mentioned it's retractable, so I feel like these spines, my idea is that they would like, here, I don't know if this is gonna work. That's the quote of the day. I don't know if this is gonna work. 1 second. Like I'm just thinking that like these little spines right here, they would all like fold downwards, like this, and fold on itself, you know? That's like my thought. Yeah. Sales give me Game of Thrones dragon vibes. Ah, a little bit. The references for this one are all over the place. Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta try the things. I think trying to get the sail text shape all the way down the back, it didn't work, and that's okay. Yeah. Hello, we're like, that's insane that you put that up like the second I was making like that exact same shape. Did everyone else see that? That was amazing. Exactly. All right, auto groups, do the thing. Here we go. Because this will definitely let it like be retractable and lay flat. Restore custom UI, because I like deleted move topological somehow. There we go. Let's add a little bit of cooler. Nope. Kind of like that. And I can even have them kind of pinned together at the back. This makes it really odd to know that they are writable, but I guess they can retract them. That's the whole point. Yeah. Peace. All right, we're gonna go into, actually no, I don't like the tail. Once I get the tail figured out a little bit more, we're gonna bring in Transpose Master and move lots of shapes around. Yeah. Add a longitudinally flat, as opposed to, so just like it's a flat tail here. I'm just gonna redesign the tail. We're tailless for a second here. So they just mean lengthwise. Yeah, that's fine. Also, these legs got a little weird. Let's just kind of get over here. Okay, longitudinally. I might actually use a curve strap snap brush, weirdly enough, for this. We're gonna change our picker to once Z, and then I'm gonna lock the start, just like before. You didn't do the thing at all. Oh, I didn't click on the button, that's why. There we go. Like, they mentioned like a flat tail. Why won't you move? Be good. It's my dad. My dad says happy 4th of July. All right, whatever. Longitudinally flat to be used as a rudder at high speeds. The back jumping are parallel and in contact with the tail when at rest. Oh, we're missing a word somewhere there. The back jumping are parallel. What? The back? The tail jumping? Jumping. The back sails. The back sails, I bet. The back sails are parallel and in contact with the tail when at rest. Ha! I think that's what they meant to say. And that's the design I was trying to do earlier. Yeah. Eloa says, and this is a great little recap here, important note, by the way, students, Mia is currently searching for the right fit. She has made so many models, she's waiting for that moment where one of her sketched out shapes just clicks and unlocks the whole model. Don't be scared to try and restart or redo. Exactly. And Just Single says, what does your inner monster hunter tell you? It says big sail. It says cool, big, flat shape. It says mirror and weld. Oh my god. Maybe it doesn't say mirror and weld. Let's try again. Why are you doing that? See your mesh in half. You just need the weld points. You're being silly. Modified apology. That is what mirror and weld does. It welds. I guess not. Fine. I will manually weld like a peasant. Weld points. Still didn't work. You're being my favorite today, ZBrush. I'm gonna dynamesh you. Ha. All right. I think this tail looks way better than I had before. It's like really flat and weird, and I really like that. Move, back face mask. Yes. This request is really cool. So I've been doing like a lot of like really dry humor and stuff on like, this request is crazy, blah, 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 blah. Like, but no, seriously, it is really fun and really cool, and I'm very grateful that this is my job. This is so awesome. And to that, Reaper says beep and Foxy says boop. Yep, right back at you. All right, I think I'm gonna extrude some poly loops because problems. And I want a little bit more structure. And then I'm gonna move and back face mask and then grab those extruded poly loops and do a thing. And shapes. 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 Okay. Interesting. All right, so I am going to temporarily hide the purse just for a second here while I move this into Transpose Master. We're going to start doing some big changes, some big shapes. I have all of the pieces now, but they do not hang out. Do I have enough legs? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, I have enough legs. All right, this looks jacked. We're gonna go black. We're gonna change it to flat color. Nope. Why does flat color turn at red wax now? This is like a new fun thing ZBrush does with me. Do I look like a joke to you? It's really annoying. I really want flat color, please. Whatever. All right, what else has like no reflections? Honestly, skin shade is fine. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna turn off my bounce light, that'll help. There we go. All right, so I'm looking at this and I'm gonna make this cool, because if this doesn't look cool, nothing looks cool. I think the legs are honestly just way too long. It needs to be lower and more slithery. I think it would slither. Slithering Splendor, okay? Foxy says, problems require solutions. Solutions create problems. Problems require solutions. Solutions create problems. Yeah, 100%. Solutions are the problem. Problems are the solution. Yeah, Foxy has like some major wisdom today. I like it. And so this is why you guys haven't seen like any details, because I'm just going to destroy them anyway. So I am going to be looking up a lot. It's literally the live stream in front of me, but because it's on a different monitor, I have to move my head. I don't know, it like refreshes my eyes. I'm using a lot of move topological and making sure symmetry is still activated. There we go. Oh, is that my husband?
It sure is.
Hello, what are you up to?
Grabbing my shoes.
Are you going somewhere?
No, I'm staying here.
Oh, you just want
I'm going
shoes?
outside.
Sorry, my music is so loud. I'm like trying to talk to you. Yes.
I'm going outside.
Oh, okay. Are you
Yeah,
working on the
shoes.
piano?
Yes.
Sick. I hope those tires work out. That's really cool.
Me too.
Whoop. Oh, Peasant's really mad that he didn't say hi. He meant to say hi. Yeah, just was like, Ricky! Yeah, he just left. He said nothing. I'm sorry, guys. I'll let him know that wasn't okay. Again, we are all about silhouette here. We're gonna call that a shoulder. And the purse will come back, don't worry. Nope. Because I want like long legs. Like I don't want looking stubby. But like, I don't know. I don't know. That's the answer right now. Nope, that's ridiculous. You'll see me do this a lot too, where I just like literally take my move brush and just move the entire thing. It does look horse-sized, so that's good. How can I not get this neck long enough? There we go. It's like every now and then, it's almost like every time that you do like these little like nudging changes, like don't do that. Like I'm literally like, okay, I'm tired of this neck being so stubby. I just like grab my move brush and like bam, just ripped forward. Cool, shape happened. You gotta just do the things. Stop being so afraid to screw up your art. If you're working on it still, you're obviously still trying to figure things out. What a good time to mess it up. Like seriously. Just have fun. Maybe the answer is even longer legs. Honestly, yeah, maybe. not just lingual. Foxy has a really good point here where it's like sometimes when you're fighting something, the answer is in the opposite direction. Yeah. Okay. I see you. Art is inherently infinite, the amount of options that you can do, but the correct answers are not. We find similar things appealing. So take that information and know that there is a solution out there and that you can find it. It can only be so many different things. And I'll tell you what, it's not this versus this versus this versus this. It's not those kind of changes. It's this versus this versus like big changes, okay? Speaking of, spiky butt was kind of cool, wasn't it? So over this neck not doing what I want because I don't know what I want, so I'm just like making something happen, and I am getting closer, which is cool. This is true. Speedy boys do tend to have slender legs, slender body, and a big chest. You're pretty much describing a cheetah. Yeah. Jaslinkle says, I used to do caricature as my first enter college, and the guy who taught me said a person looks more like a person when you find the details that we use to identify and exaggerate it. Huh. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Foxy says to Empress, Empress says, this reminds me of the millions of conversations I have with people wanting multi-limb characters in games. They are not trivial to create or animate / rig. Yeah, they are tricky. I'm just waiting for someone to request Sleipnir or whatever, Sleipnir, whatever. It's the 8-legged horse, because that's going to be a nightmare. Eloa, I like the vibes here. Speed, that's a low to the ground interpretation as opposed to like this more tall horse-like thing that I'm doing. I like it. You're saying something. I want to know. Foxy says, Empress, I'm astounded by the request for 8 legs, right? Like, I'm impressed that Mia is making it look good. Aw, thanks. It's better to overcorrect and then find the happy medium than to have infinitely adjust in that direction. Exactly. I'm not sure about the request, but the balance of the long, thick tail looks great. Yeah, right here it does. Okay, you're right. So my tail is too small. It is not chonk enough. That is what I'm missing. Thank you, Eloa. And I like how broad the tail is too. So it kind of fans out at the end, which does hit the rudder prompt we have here too. Okay, I went a little insanely long, but I'm not mad about it. What if I kind of break this apart a little further? We're also losing some of the body here. It needs to, you know, have organs still. Gotta be really careful that you don't undo the changes you just made. These knee joints are too high. Now that I'm looking at the way this is supposed to move. Again, like I say this all the time, but see how these are roughly on the same plane? That makes sense. The arms don't have to be, because they function totally different. Nope. No. So you can't let that get away from you. It's just so, like, I feel like people get so caught up in like, oh, how do I detail fur? How do I sculpt scales? And I'm like, your monster doesn't even make sense. Like, it's all in the base shapes. Details always get the credit, but this is what you should be spending all of your time on. Ooh, something is happening. Okay, so I'm starting to do like this curve thing. Okay, that's interesting. You know, I'm tip over. I agree. Maybe not cake, but thick tail. I agree. I like it. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. I get Ricky in here. You can say that perfectly. This does seem like a really good teaching stream, which is why I wanted to do it today as well, because I figured it'd be a smaller audience for sure, because it's a holiday and whatnot. And so I figured people that be tuning in would especially be regulars, which means a lot of students. The flow of the head I have right now sucks, but it's gonna be cool. All right, Mia, what do you want? I don't know. So I really don't know. So here's a good way to fix that. It's not bad. I'm not saying this is bad. There's a lot that's cool here, but I'm gonna show you guys what happens when I'm like, what do I want? I take it here, I take a screenshot, and then I start drawing lines on it. And I'm gonna make it blue to have calm vibes. So right now, I've got that shape kind of going on. So you can tell, like even right here in this curve, it like kind of has like a kink on itself, you know, and it doesn't look nice. That's beautiful. What if it came out more? Interesting. So I'm finding the solution right here. See, the tongue is not part of it. And also another thing, like when I draw, like I'm doing this curve, I'm not doing this. I'm moving my arm, my shoulder, because that's where the answer is. Okay. I need to pull this down a lot more than I thought. That's what this tells me. Because it's like kinked on itself right here. Okay. Can I even incorporate that into the tail somehow? That line? That seems really hard. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. There's a imbalance between the front and the rest of it right now. This I actually think looks really good all by itself, but the way that it connects to the rest of the body does not. This creature is brought to you by the number 2 with the kink. All right. I'm gonna keep this over here. And I'm going to learn, I think. Move over. Over here. So I said something. Stretching this upwards, outwards. That just made it larger. See, don't do that. You can't change it on this axis and then this axis, because then you just scaled it up. Does that make sense? Okay, Eloa, like really pay attention with this, because it's a really hard concept that I like still screw up. When you're pushing proportions, if you change it along one axis and then you come back to it later and change it on the other axis, literally all you did was scale it up. And then you're just back where you started. So really try to like commit to changing it on like one axis or the other when you're trying to iterate different shapes. Pull this up right here. And I don't want to screw up the arms. I do like the arms. And I like this head. Don't mess that up either. Okay, we're actually going to just select the head. All right. Curve. Haha, I'm finding it. I'm finding it. It's happening, I think. It doesn't have to be so exact by any means. I think that's where the answer is. And I'm really obsessed with that right now. Like this being so far back doesn't make sense. The point would be higher up as well. Aha. And then there's like a joint right here, I think. I don't know. I might have to revisit this. But I'm doing something cool. Does Eloa have something? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Exaggerated, but you get the idea. Yeah. I think the taller you made him, the better he looks. He's so gangly, so it's a really awkward balance. Keep on cooking, it's coming together. Thank you. Also, that's a nicer screenshot. Thank you. The Splendor model request is being worked on. Holy shit, I forgot about that. You're saying I don't even have to do this? No, I was joking. Right, Foxy literally told me that. They were like, you don't have to do this. I'm going to use Move and Back Face Mask to add some volume on the back here. And I'm going to mask right at this knee joint here, making sure they're all the same height. There we go. And we're going to stretch this on down. Haha. Hey, Alexander is here. Thank you, Alexander. We're making a really cool request today. So 1, thank you. 2, happy 4th of July. And 3, have you seen the description on the monster we're working on today? I did a special stream on purpose, and you made this extra special. Aw, thank you. It was about time to overhaul our little request board thing, too. At this point, I don't need to read all these names out, but I recognize almost all of them. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, good, Ray's member again. I'm going to scroll up a little bit here, though, because I don't think you're in the Discord. I really want you to know more about this request, because it's like just that cool. But yeah, this is the request. I have it pinned. That's it. It's super long. It's broken down into each of these different components. Freaking wild. But yeah, it's coming together. Oh, that means a Tavern pet too. I didn't think about that because duh. Thank you, just single. Oh, hey. And then right away someone got the membership, so thank you. You must be one of our lurkers. Hello. Yeah, what do y'all want for the Tavern pet? Because I'm definitely gonna need a break after working on this model for sure. Let me go ahead and fill up that bar because it is definitely done for the day. Oh, bam. Awesome. Thank you so much. Reaper got lurker spotted. We're going to scare him away. I might keep on adjusting the shape right here, but you guys start talking about a Tavern pet because I'm definitely going to want to break after working on this absolute insane monstrosity. I'm going to go ahead and use my Move Topological brush to kind of... I don't want it getting... making the head too small. Here, I can fix that right now. There we go. Because these angles and curves are really important. There we go. And I agree with you, Eloa, the taller the better. A classic mushroom. We can. How about the Splendor as a Tavern pet? Get out. You've done enough. Alexander says, biblically accurate thrones angel. Christ. There's nothing cute about that. Okay. What is a biblically accurate thrones angel? I'm familiar with angel, just like a bunch of wings and eyeballs. I guess I could make that cute. You know what? After streaming regularly for the last 6 months or more at this point, I can handle lots of y'all nonsense at this point. Sure, I can do it. I can make anything cute. Can make these legs even longer. And then I'm gonna throw the edge of this tail up. Just a touch. Here we go. I'm not familiar with the thrones aspect. Oh, here we go. Seraphim, cherubim, which is like the little babies in thrones. Okay, so it's like an orb. Okay. Yeah, I can try to make that cute. I think I could. Oh, Eloa says, Mia, by the way, are you doing these changes in T-pose mesh or just skipping that part at the moment? This is all in T-pose mesh. You were correct. It's still crazy for me to think that live streaming has been the smallest part of like my art career. I don't know, I just can't imagine not hanging out with y'all at this point. I know, cute, cheesy. Yeah, all right, I got it. We'll do it. I can do it. I'm feeling confident. I've done more ridiculous requests at this point for y'all. If I didn't like problems, I would have stopped streaming a long time ago. Let's be real. All right, this is looking pretty darn good. I'm still kind of thrown on the sail idea. I think adding some horizontalness, whatever, is gonna help. All right, this is looking pretty cool though. This got kind of scrunched up again though, didn't it? Empress, there's another mode hidden in ZBrush? Yes, it will help you with posing. We'll get there when we get there, don't you worry. So I've been so picky about this neck shape. I need to stop being so attached to, like, this by itself looks really cool, and that's great. I need to let go of this shape to make this design work. So I'm happy with this and the way that lines up. And since I know that, I know how to fix this. Okay, Z plugin, T-pose sub T, we'll put it back. As if Z modeler wasn't enough. It's not quite that insane, but yeah. All right, we now got our weird detail list. Look how skinny he is, because we're not really worried about this side. Oh, I think that was actually a mistake. Ruh-roh. It got crushed at one point. It's supposed to be more like this. You know what? At this point, it doesn't even matter. I can fix it. Do you guys see what you've done to me? I'm just like unflappable when it comes to design and sculpting. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna merge all this down again. Oh, and he's got the little purse thanks to just single. We're gonna widen this guy up. There we go. And then we're gonna fix this neck. I got plans. Back face mask. There we go. All right, so I got really attached to this curve right here, and so I just would not change it. That's really common. So if you get really hung up on a shape like this, just break it down a little further. There we go. So now I'm gonna respect this torso piece as a separate shape, especially because I was enjoying kind of keeping this pyramid-like shape motif thing going on. So now I can leave that alone. I can make adjustments without worrying about preserving that shape, because that's what was really kind of getting me hung up on this. Again, gonna have the head as its own piece. And now I'm gonna do my favorite thing. I'm just gonna delete the neck entirely, because wow, has that been tricky for me, right? So just delete it. Have no fear. Why are these nails separate pieces? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna move the arms around a little bit so that way he's holding the purse again. There we go, that's about right. Yes, I agree. Foxy says maybe play with the angles the neck connects at. I absolutely agree. And I can push this forward a bit more. And here's what's gonna be really cool. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys a cool little technique here. So I'm gonna turn off symmetry. I'm going to append a cylinder. That's not pitch black. What are you doing? All right. We're gonna make it about neck thickness, something like that. And this is where the really cool things can allow us to iterate quickly. And click on W3 gizmo, little gear, and then bend curve. Go ahead and click on this little cone. Here, let me turn up the confetti so you can actually see it. Whee, confetti. Again, thank you, Alexander. And happy 4th, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me. Alrighty, and so now I can really play with this neck shape a lot really quickly without anything getting too lumpy or too weird. So there you go. And I can also, what's really cool is flare and taper the shape. This is what I should have done from the beginning. Yeah. But long neck works too. It really does. Let's add even more cones. There we go. So I can actually have it fit into chest here. We're getting a little ridiculous, so we'll go back. Because that's the fun of it, you know? I can like really quickly iterate from here. Because now I'm kind of thinking about this shape that Eloa's created here. Again, exaggerated, but we lost a little bit of the silhouette. Let's bring it back. So I like those arms being out front a lot. I like that fan all the way down their back. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely should take a refresher at some point, Eloa. Just like, I'm kind of having fun with it. It's getting more and more ridiculous in the best way. Cannot be stopped. Just more. I also think moving the head farther away is kind of letting me reset a bit here. I will tuck it back for now. Also, don't lose the thing. I see a future with this where I even like take the neck and then I mirror it to create the tail shape from. Double frill goodness. Heck yeah. Where'd my other pictures go? Oh, I'm not sure. I watched them disappear too. I don't know. I am actually going to delete these frills for right now. Because that's what I want. Foxy just full on singing in the chat. I love it. Yeah, just Single has M3DM emojis again. I love it. Yeah, no, the gifting membership things never gets old. It makes me, obviously I super appreciate when you guys buy like D20 Destiny rolls. That affects the stream too. But the memberships are super cool because then you guys can mess with like the emojis and all that kind of stuff. And then you get honored at the end as well. A little fancy board. This awesome monster is looking awesome and monster. I think it's about time for me to take a break from looking at it, but we made a lot of cool progress. Foxy, make sure to tell your GM that the purse is non-negotiable. Kind of messing with this fan shape that might connect all the way down. Maybe. Oh, hey, we have a recap from Eloa. Thank you, thank you. I'm really excited to see it. Eloa's also probably like, look at this. Stop messing with it. I'm like, I can't be stopped. I am having a lot of fun. Though this definitely is not the most efficient way to work on a model like this. But we're not always here to be efficient. Sometimes we're here just to do the things. Let's go ahead and push the chest forward a little bit. Oh yeah. I'm trying to get these little fans to work. They're not gonna work. That's okay. This thing is absolutely insane. I'm gonna go ahead and make the legs a separate piece so I can widen the stance just a touch here. There we go. Nope. There we go. Just a cool little dude. So many legs. Oh, I love it. Fox says, yeah, the GM is not allowed any input. They know it's happening, but if you excuse the loss of one viewer, I'm not sharing the stream with them. Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't want to be backseat sculpted. Thank you. Just Single says, Mia, hear me out. Default model has purse. You remove the purse to make it custom for your merchants to be able to sell on Etsy. Oh my goodness. Oh, good. Sounds good, John. Thanks for being here. All right, let's get a little recap of this head as it kind of came together. This is what you should send. This is what you can share, Foxy. Oh, cool. Creation stuff. This is just fun for me to look at too. So this is the beginning of the stream where I started kind of sculpting this head. Snapshot by snapshot. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I started with the neck too stubby right from the start. That's A-okay. Started adding some limbs, some body parts here. Human feet happened briefly. I cannot believe you added that in the log. There's the start of like that tail shape, maybe that fan. And then here's I start really pushing the proportions. Ooh, that is looking better. Ooh, that is a good before and after. Oh, okay, I was doing the things. Shoot, I kind of like that. And then I kind of butchered it. It happens. Oh, what a weird, like, lighting scene that did. No. Ooh, I love that it's orange now. Stop. I like this one. Okay, I'm not too far off from that. Oh, okay, cool. I was like, oh no, did I have the answer and then I ruined it? No. We're good. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete these weird little feet. I'm going to just append a sphere and shape that really quickly. Awesome. All right. That was really fun, Tavern Keeper's Craft. Looks like we were about out of time here. Did some really fun, insane stuff. Yeah, I agree. Eloa said, yeah, I think the screenshot where you did silhouette has the best balance, but again, there's so much to play with here, I wouldn't worry about it. I agree. I did go back to that silhouette anyway, because I think that's really cool. But you were correct. I'm all like, is that what I have now? Pretty much, except the head is tilted down just a touch more, which actually is really neat. Scoot. Pretty much. Cool. And then detailing this is going to be a breeze. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's pretty much just covered in scales and stuff. Yeah, I agree. It's break time. But that was fun. Alrighty, y'all. I'm going to go on a quick break. And then I'll come back. And we'll make a new Tavern Pets. Thank you to Just Lingual and, of course, Alexander for donating today. And then Foxy for supporting me on Patreon so I can do fun requests like this. It's a great time. Awesome. All right, y'all. I'll see you in about 10-15 minutes. Sit tight. Go grab a drink, grab a snack. All right. Bye. Hey y'all, welcome back. Excuse me. Alright. It's been a great stream. It's been really fun. Exactly what I wanted to do today, so thanks for hanging out with me. We also got funded for another tabard pet. So, we're going to make a... my god, what is this? Biblically accurate tarot. No. Thrones angel. There you go. So the rings, eyeballs, and then I'll probably add some little wings on it. So we're going to find a way to make this adorable using all of the chibi principles I've kind of learned over the last few months. So yes. And then after that, I'll probably review Empress's questions and we'll start wrapping up for the day. All right, let's get to it. And put this little cute fox over to the side. Actually, we got room. We'll put him right at the top. Oh, he's so small then. All right, you know what? It's time to reorganize these anyway. So this is all for season 2. We have not forgotten about season 1, of course. Those will be coming out when they come out. That's all I have to say about that. There we go. All right, biblically accurate angel. Throne style. Let's go. Well, I guess we have to have 2 spheres. We'll go with this kind of yellowy gold color, and I'll just ZBrush as much as I can. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this edge loop here, just to make this nice and flat. There we go. That's a pretty nice ring. We're now gonna crease these edges to make sure that when I do subdivide, they're still looking nice. I'm gonna rotate this. We'll duplicate it and have another. In order for this to work, one of the rings must be smaller than the other, so I will just make it a touch smaller. Having the ring as thick as it is causing it to kind of clip through a bit. This one looks really good. I'm actually gonna look at that reference quite a lot. I think that was from Foxy, yes. Alright, so we'll rotate it this way instead. See how this works. And I'm going to go ahead and try to thin this out a touch more by deleting some edge loops. There we go. Actually, I like it like this a little more, I think. Make it a little thinner. Perfect. Alright. Remember, it's gonna be a cute little guy, so I'm definitely gonna add some little wings by the time that I'm done. Probably use these. They're very, very detailed, which is really pushing the chibi aspect, but I can break these down if I need to into simpler shapes. There we go. This is a very challenging one. I'm up for it though. It's gonna be adorable. You'll see. It's gonna be the way that I change the proportions. Adding like these tiny little wings and these big old chibi eyes. It's gonna require some imagination, but it's gonna work. You'll see. Alright, so for this, the wings are just too epic. So I'm gonna go ahead and just delete the outer layer of wings, or flight feathers, I think they're called. There we go. And now I have a little smaller, cuter wing right here. Go ahead and mirror and weld that. And then these need to be simplified immensely. They're so heavily detailed, that's just inherently not the way of chibi. Put them right on top. I'm gonna zoom in on these, and I'm probably just gonna Dynamesh them in a lower resolution to get the effect I'm wanting. That works too, honestly, just kind of polishing. And I'll inflate them, see how that does. That's a bit sweeter. Yeah. This reminds me of a Pathfinder creature I want to try making. Oh, no kidding. Put a picture of that in the chat. I want to see. All right, now the time to add eyeballs and blushies. I guess we're going to make the eyes a beautiful, pure blue that feels angelic. I don't know. There we go. It's happening. I am making this cute. I broke one of my rules right here. I'm curious if you guys can spot it yet. I'm gonna fix it in a second. But there's something I did just now that is making it look less cute than it possibly could look. Curious if you guys will figure it out before I fix it. All right, the fix, never mind. Come on, color this, thank you. All right, the fix is that it's actually too high up. The little face is gonna look best as low as possible. See? It just immediately looks more baby. There you go. And then the wings, I don't even know where I want to put them exactly. I think being on top is pretty cute. Yeah, I don't mind them up there. We do need to add a bunch of eyeballs to this, so let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna make them this blue, and then I'm gonna use modify my insert brush here to make it nice and smooth. It's gonna look more like gems, which I'm totally fine with. I don't want this looking, you know, horrifying. And I'm gonna go pretty large with the spacing as well. Again, this is pushing what could possibly be made chibi in the best way. You guys know I'm always up for a challenge. It's gonna look more like gems than it does eyeballs, and honestly, that's perfect. I'm not gonna add any in between the eyes, just for clarity of design. I did it. Sorry, Google pulled up proper, so fun picture, no problem. Oh, that is very similar in vibes what I'm making right now. That would have been a much easier first project to work on, by the way. But I believe in you. All right, I'm gonna ZBrush by half because I do want to simplify these wings even further. They're still too detailed. All right, turns out it was not centered, so that upset ZBrush a little bit. Don't be mad. There we go. We'll ZBrush again. And again, it's not like detail is the enemy when you are making something chibi and cute, but kind of. You want it to be nice and simple. There we go. And then this does need to be 3D printable, so I'm just gonna make sure that these wings are touching the ring. Good. We do have some funny business and topology happening here. Oh, because they're separate pieces. Okay, in that case, never mind. We're fine. We're fine. False alarm. All right. Can I undo that, please? There we go. And the last thing I'm going to do is try to make him look a little happier. Let's see if I can, because I definitely don't have room to give him eyebrows. So let's see if I can just kind of like squish these eyes around to look a little happier. And then they'll be done. Oh, other than a cloud base, he definitely has to have a cloud base. Let's make this a pure, beautiful white Dynamesh. We're going to smooth this, and then I'm going to use my inflate brush to create a bunch of clouds. Let's make that a little more of an off-white and more on the bluer tone. So it's going to look like a bunch of like little bumps, and then I will go through with my spiral brush to add a little more oomph. There we go. Cute. Oh, I agree. Eloa, I've been giving all of my students that armor stream that I did a couple weeks ago. I've already given out to like 4 different students. I agree. That definitely needs to become part of the hard surface assignment. I'm so glad that was helpful. There he is. All right. I think he turned out pretty adorable. That was unhinged. I think I can officially make literally anything chibi, you guys. Eloa making armor. I bet it eats people. Empress, it's a safe assumption. All right, this goes into season 2. We have a ton of summer left, so this is great. I honestly wasn't sure if y'all would be like bored of Tabard Pets by now. Nope. We're still doing them. Good, because I really enjoy making them. Alexander says, I've yet to stump you. This was close. This was close, for sure. This was a good attempt. Literally monstrous. But I made it a cute little dude. I sure did. I think my favorite one from you so far, Alexander, was actually the, what was it? The rust. I'm thinking ant, but it's not a rust ant. You know what I'm trying to say. A little insectoid rust monster. That thing was so cute. I was amazed at how cute that turned out. I really wasn't sure how to do that one initially, so I think that was the trickiest one so far. Just Single says, Mia, I haven't learned how to pose yet. Is it better to pose and sculpt in place until I learn, or T-pose so they are ready when I do learn how to pose? Definitely sculpt in a T-pose first. Unless you have exceptional understanding of anatomy and fantastic patience, just sculpt in symmetry initially. Otherwise, between trying to figure out how to navigate the software and art, there's a lot of art that goes into posing, which I know you know. So it's better just to focus on one thing at a time. So yes, definitely stick to a T-pose. All right, well, I'm gonna start looking at some student assignments. First up is Taka. Taka says, I have made something. Question, can I Dynamesh just a certain area of a subtool? Or Dynamesh without the model losing detail? I wanted to extend the tail more, but I couldn't with Dynamesh, and when I used it, the whole model became less defined. That makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and timestamp. I was gonna type out this huge long message and I'm like, what am I doing? That's not how I do this. There we go. I can respond on stream and then it's the best of all worlds because I have a lot to say about this. What's new? There we go. There we go. All right, awesome. So hello, Taka. I just reviewed what you sent in here, and you're talking about Dynamesh. So essentially, I'm going to answer your questions one at a time. Can I Dynamesh just a certain area of a subtool? No. Or Dynamesh without losing detail? Yes. You could increase the resolution, but that's not really the point of Dynamesh. It's not really the tool that you're wanting there. So what you should start getting into is using multiple subtools, and I don't think I've given you that assignment yet because you're so early on. What assignments have I given you? No, I think I did. Yeah, I did. Here we go. 3D Gizmo. So this add and move subtools, that's how you're going to want to approach this as well. Yeah, I wanted to extend the tail more, but I couldn't with Dynamesh. You definitely can. You just have to get comfortable with like the hierarchy of creating, right? So you got to get your base shapes down first and then adding detail. So something that you could do is continue to, you need to start using subdivisions as well. It's a tricky thing to get the hang of. So whenever you use subdivisions, which is when you come over here to geometry and divide, that will smooth out your mesh by adding more polys. It just takes whatever polygon you have and it just cuts it in half. So there's double the amount of polys, or is it quads? Whatever. It increases resolution. But once you have subdivision levels, if you try Dynamesh, it destroys them all. But what's cool about subdivision levels is you can move up and down resolution. I'll send you an assignment for that. But yes. Again, for the Dynamesh slider, it's a resolution right here, but you don't want to get in the habit of Dynameshing at a very high resolution. It's just not quite the thing that you're going to want to do there. But great questions for sure. Yes, I'm in teacher mode right now. If you have any more follow-up questions, let me know. All right, let me grab a new assignment for you because you are just cooking. You're doing fantastic, Otaka. So yeah, I gave you another create bad assignment just to kind of warm up. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and give you one of my Sculpt with Me's. Though I do wonder, did I even give you the Dynamesh assignment or did you just figure that out on your own? Because every now and then y'all do that. Okay, no, good. I did give that to you. Every now and then, I always have to make sure because I'll assume that, like, oh, you guys knew that. I'm like, oh, wait, nope, you figured it out yourself. I'm going to give you a bit of a curveball here because a lot of the forms that you're making, Otaka, are very, like, organic and sculptural. So instead, let's give you a bit of a curveball assignment. And something that is really just using the Z Modeler brush. So yeah, make this potion set, and I bet you're going to, like, learn a lot, unlock some new stuff in your brain. Up next is Empress. All right, Empress says, so this is for image 1, about this image here. I just want to show my progress on the nose. For this interpretation, I'm using 2 references of the wonderful Kelly Rowland. I think I might also borrow her head shape along with it. Might as well. Image 2, my next goal is to take my hand from my baseball glove to Demon Diva Claws. From what I could research, the move brush plus snake hook should achieve this. Just use a move brush. Don't worry about snake hook for this. Also, what you really want to do here is, instead of pointing the finger, add a new subtool, like a sphere, and sculpt a claw. That's what you're going to want to do. You're trying to make your low-res mesh do too much heavy lifting. Does that make sense? Oh, I forgot to include questions. I want to give her a fuller, thicker lips. How do I do that? Inflate brush seems to be the obvious answer, but I don't want to give her inflated lips on accident. Take your move brush and very carefully move out the Cupid's bow. And the rest of the vermilion borders, just moving like vertex by vertex, which you can do. I mean, you already pretty much have that done. She's already a little kind of looking, honestly. So I do look at some more lip references, and don't forget that the mouth curves around your head. So don't like just sculpt her lips like flat, like forward on the same plane. Make sure you are keeping that curve, okay? And yeah, just because you're so low poly, you can achieve that using just the move brush. But honestly, don't be afraid to increase your resolution a bit. You did quite a good job here on the nose reference. The only thing that you kind of missed is dropping the tip of her nose down a little bit, and the shape of the nostrils are barely off. But the nose bridge looks quite good, and the overall shape is also quite good. And then for the ears, should I just start move brushing and pulling them closer to fin spines before subdividing? Yes. So what I would have done here is, instead of pulling all of that geometry off of her head, I would have made that a new subtool so you have more control. This is fine the way that it is, but when you subdivide, you are going to lose some of that volume. But yeah, you're killing it. I think you're being shy and over-perfecting. Move on to the next step. You're good. You're good. I'm going to give you the... You're done with the base mesh. You're so done with the base mesh. You're doing great. I'm going to give you the asset creation assignment. Empress says, oh my god, that's so smart. I'm glad it was helpful. I feel that's so hard. I'm still struggling when to subdivide versus Dynamesh. I'll make that really easy. When do you Dynamesh? Are you making a creature? Stretching out crazy shapes? Dynamesh. Are you doing literally anything else? Subdivision levels. Totally serious. You only use Dynamesh to stretch out crazy shapes. That's it. That's it. If you're not stretching your mesh, do not Dynamesh. Ooh, that rhymed. Kind of. No, it's just mesh with mesh. Didn't rhyme. Whatever. Yes, there are other ways to use Dynamesh, but this is for my baby students. It's just a general hard rule. Empress, or Eloa said, can we get a quick scroll on Empress's history? I want to see the progress. If Empress says it's okay, I would love to show it to y'all. I got the go ahead from Empress. All right, so your next step, Empress, is the block out. And this is not, you are going to freak out a little bit. Don't, you're okay. Message me with any problems. The block out is just getting like the beginning of shapes down. And it's up to you to decide what is good enough, which is very difficult because I know you like to do more is more, which is great. But that is not what I wanted. I'm showing you something. Here we go. The block out can look like a lot of different things. It can look like very simple, or it can look like, why will it not show me this post? Oh my God. I have an example here that I'm trying to show you, but Instagram is being adorable right now. There we go. Jesus. Either one of these could be a block out, truly. This one obviously has more secondary forms, is a little more intense, but if you submit an early version like this, that's fine. Just make it so she has clothes, you know, where you have the beginning of your assets figured out. Like, I know she's going to have a capelet. I know she's going to have a skirt, a belt, those kind of things. Don't worry about detailing. No detail. Just block out, okay? Have fun. Play with different shapes. Yeah, cool. And they're okay with showing progress. Sweet. Let's check it out. So yeah, I gave them a little fabric fold assignment here. This is the reference that they found. And then this is the base shape they created the dress, which is great. The only thing Empress did was just make it a little more modest, honestly. They lowered the hemline and there's not as much of a plunging V, which I assume was intentional. I like this skankier version, but like this is also fine. And then here are the fabric folds they created. It's a fantastic start considering this is like the first time I've ever done an assignment like this before. The folds are more on the crisp, almost stylized rather than like a soft organic, but honestly, what I'm looking for as a teacher is just saying that, do you understand motion? Do you understand that there will be tension points at the farthest point of the hip? Yes, you do. Same with like right here, those tension fabrics and actually also compression right around this little like cinched band. So I'm very happy with what I saw there. I think you definitely understood the assignment. Good job. If you want to make this easier on yourself next time, just remember that you don't have to make it one subtool. Split it up. You can make the top different, the belt different, this different. More subtools. That's how I would have done this. I actually would have made this part right here, this like skirt section here. I would actually make this two separate subtools because look, you have one swath of fabric here and then a second one that pokes out, just this little triangle. So I would have made this one section here, duplicated it, mirrored, and then just shrunk it a tiny bit and it would just poke out just like that. Any questions? Let me know. Next up is paint. Paint says, I did the watching and some practice. The shield tutorial helped a lot. Oh, heck yeah. So Paint worked on this shield right here. And I pretty much was like, hey, your approach for this was wrong. Let me show you how to use the modeler. So they went from, here are their references they had. So like a big kite shield. And again, what they made was much more organic. It looks more like a leaf. And I showed them how to do some stuff on stream. They worked on it, came back and made this. Way closer to what they were going for. Ooh, nice work. Let me see if they need a new assignment. I am not certain if they're ready for a new assignment. Are you ready for a new assignment? Sweet. And those are all my students to review for the day, or at least the ones I reviewed on stream. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. This has been a super fun stream. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out with me on this holiday. And like the stream, if you haven't already, it does make a huge difference. I do have the best peasants in the land, so you guys normally do that, but you've been reminded. Sweet, we're on the 3-hour mark here. I can't help myself. I want to look at the Splendor again. If anything jumps out at me that I want to change, I will. Otherwise, kind of wrap up. Eloa says, can you remind peasants about the Art Fest and the weekend deadline? Yes, yes. So the Art Fest prompts are Spectral, Necromancer, Eldritch, and Overgrown. You have until Monday to get these done. Really Monday morning, just before I stream. So really Sunday night. But yeah, just take your time over the weekend. It makes a little something. It can be any medium, any skill level. And then make sure you submit it under Summer Art Fest and ping Eloa. We'd love to see it. Foxy has a question. I might have an answer. Reaper said, I would love a critique. Oh, and Empress also has a question. Do you have any tips for nail/claw creation? Oh, heck yeah, I do. I'll just show you how to do it. I don't see what you wanted me to critique yet, Reaper, so I'm going to do this little claw demo. All right, Empress, here's how you make claws. Click on append, grab a sphere. Take your sphere and make it small, like this. Next, stretch it into like a tube shape. You're then going to want to use your 2 different gizmo modifiers. So W for the gizmo. You're going to want to taper just one side of it. And then when that's done, click on Bend Arc. Click and drag a green cone, just like that. And ta-da! You have a beautiful claw, just like that. You might have a little excess back here that you don't need. If you do, just hold down Command from the mask brush. Mask the little part you don't want. Command W, congratulations, you just made a poly group. So when you Command Shift click twice, it will hide that piece. The last thing you want to do is go to Modified Topology, delete hidden, and close holes. I know it's a lot of steps right there, but that is a little workflow you'll get super comfortable with later on, making poly groups, deleting, hiding, and all that kind of good stuff. But there you go. That's how you make a claw. I love doing demos for you guys. I feel like it's probably one of the most helpful things I do on stream when teaching you. So great question, Empress. Foxy says, Mia, how does one make income with art? That joke never gets old. Empress says, oh, that's shockingly easy. Thank you. I love that you say that now. Like, that makes me super happy because I feel like all the different buttons and the gizmo and the appending would like be super overwhelming to you just a couple months ago because you didn't even know how to use ZBrush. So the fact that you can see that and be like, oh, easy. It warms my heart. And the Reaper has something in art share. Or show your art. Oh, here we go. Bonnie Sketch. They say, I still need to fix up the arms and add her hands. Otherwise, I think she's looking cool. Yeah, I think looking cool is an understatement. This is super cool. Honestly, I think the arms are really not too far off. That's kind of... I had a stick right there. Yeah, no, I love this. I love her hair, too. It kind of reminds me of my hair. I'm really impressed that you're able to draw this shoe at any other perspective angle. That's not really a critique. That's just like, I would have a hard time doing that. Good job. I'm really trying to think. I guess maybe her neck is a tiny bit thin. Not really. The stylization here is working very well. I like how sharp her features are. I do think the sharpness of her brow is making her read a little masculine, some of her features, but again, I also kind of like that. Now this is killer. Maybe I'd give her some sort of little accessory to add like what kind of like, what is this stick exactly? It's definitely giving like monk vibes or like, not baton twirler, but like classic weapon training. I can't remember what this is called. But it would be cool if she had some sort of little detail sticking out of her pocket. Tell us a little bit more about her character, maybe. Very cool. Very cool. I really like it. Does the shoe look okay perspective-wise? Yeah, it does. I think this leg, because that shoe is perfectly off to the side, I think it would actually be a little more angled towards the camera. Barely. No, it looks great. This one especially, again, I'm like, that looks hard. I would have had a hard time with that. Good job. And the stick is a placeholder. It'll be fixed. Oh yeah, no, I know. I have no problem with the stick by any means. But whatever type of stick it is, I think it'd be cool to know more about the character. Yeah. But very cool. I always love seeing what you're making. Keep it up. Any other questions or general art goodness? The claw. God, that was so lame. That really got a laugh out of me. Ah, beautiful. It will be something cooler than a stick. Okay. I'm intrigued. I already kind of like the stick. Yeah, I'm with Eloa. No, I like this stick. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. All right, Mia, what do you want with this? What do you think it needs? I think this shape needs to be simplified a little bit, so I'll Z-remesh a few times. We're going to come back and finish this one day. I honestly am not even sure when. But boy, was this a fun stream to hang out with y'all today. You can go into purgatory along with the fall of Eloa. Jokes. Just Lingual says, Mia, is there any student work you love to see the work of in particular? I can't answer that. That's like picking a favorite child. No comment. I love seeing all of your guys' submissions. That reminds me, when I was in high school, I was an English TA, and I like definitely, as a high school student, like reviewed people's essays and stuff. I feel like you're not supposed to do that. But anyway, I was definitely the one grading people's assignments, like a lot of assignments. And I definitely had favorite students then too, where I would be super excited to see what essays they wrote and like what they, just their opinions and what they wanted to talk about. And I could definitely tell when they were having a bad day and wrote like a shit essay, and it always made me sad because I was like, oh, I looked forward to this and it's terrible. Eloa said 100% answers in her head immediately. Yes, I had a list of 4. But PR training kicked in. Sure did. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say Reaper because I'm not a student. I like it. I could pick a favorite child. I don't have children, but I could. Oh, goodness. You guys are silly. Good try with that question. Admirable effort. Try harder. Just kidding. Don't try harder. It is very easy to get me to say things that are too honest. Eloa is sweating over there like, stop it. You did good. So what I'm realizing now, and it's so funny looking back at this, like could not figure out this neck shape. I could not figure out some of these shapes, right? Your girl was just trying to get way too much done with primary shapes. That's it. It just needs secondary shapes. That's it. They could be spikes. They could be fins. It could be a lot of different things. But that's all. That's all I'm missing. Eloa says, Mia, if you had to execute one of the peasants for a new house, who would you pick and why is it Torpin? Don't say that. Oh my gosh. I'm putting Eloa in timeout for 10 seconds. Yeet. She read it. I totally did. You betray my trust. I give you my trust. And you betray it. I'll tell you who's not my favorite students. Damn, my logo got shadow banned. Yeah. Okay, I'm not talking about it at all, but actually I'm doing really cool stuff right now on this model. I'm making my life easier, and I am using secondary shapes. Crazy. Wow. Check that out. Ooh, crease brush doing cool stuff for me so I don't have to do the same shape over and over again. Should have been banned for 10 minutes. I've been nothing but well behaved. Lies, you gremlin. Reaper, I think you can put Eloa in timeout for things too, actually. Not saying you should, but you could. I can't, I can only block him. Oh, no kidding. Is Reaper a high tier mod? Nothing but the highest. I have no idea. Reaper said, my powers aren't that powerful. And Loa's like, hee hee, I'm too powerful. You guys are exactly the same. I'm finally just like doing what I want instead of worrying about following this request to a T, which is what Foxy was telling me the entire time. This is that sail thing. I made it more of a wing and I'm really happy with it. Foxy, on a real note, like this request, this was so much fun. This was a great stream. You were a super good sport about it because I definitely like complained about it the whole time. I like that you know that like I don't really mean that. I'm actually having a great time. Just making a few more adjustments here and then I'm gonna call it good for the day. This was super, super fun. I mean, terrible. Stupid request. You can definitely see some of the Mia flair starting to come out here. Reaper says, I mod for a guy that literally gave me all the power. I could like see the streamer chat. No kidding. Oh my goodness. The British have arrived in memes. Alright. Is it political that to ban you? Happy Treason Day, ungrateful. Oh my god. Great. Colonials. Was it colonists? No, colonials. Amazing. Oh my god, the beep beep, I'm a sheep. Oh my god. This is great. Oh my goodness. This is great. I love how nonsense, non-political this is. This is beautiful. This is an UFO. Yeah, very good. That's the year I was born. Ooh, so far says Mia, how do you extrude an edge loop with a Z-Modeler brush, like the rim of a shield with a pauldron? Yes, 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 I'm on it. I'm on it. You can see that in that live stream that I sent you, but let's be real. That is a long video. So I'm happy that you just asked me because I can show you like really quickly. All right, so I have a single-sided poly. Step 1, make sure you have a single-sided poly. If you have 2 sides, it's not gonna work. If you have double turned on, you will see 2 sides, but they're not real. And that's good. That's also fine. All right, Z-Modeler. Spacebar over an edge. Not a point, not a poly. An edge. This is very important. Hold spacebar. Extrude. Edge loop or poly is fine. And then you click and drag. That's it. Whee! And what's really cool is when you go close with shape, it will boop, snap. See? Boop, boop. Yeah. And you can kind of play with this, do whether you do edge loop or just an edge. Like I can do the entire thing at once. I think poly loop might be what I want here. There you go. Poly loop will do the entire thing, for example. So yes, I hope that helps. I ran out of letters for the please. In that case, I take back my answer. You did not say please in the message. Answer deleted. Beautiful. It looks more like a bug now, which I think is fine, because it's supposed to be like extraterrestrial. All right, I have 2 copies of the head right here, and I'm gonna grab some of these like petal shape things and move them around. I just hope it doesn't look too pretty. You know what? Who cares? I love pretty. It can just be pretty. And then so far, if you have any other questions, let me know. We are in happy hour right now. Technically, we're like in happy hour overtime right now. So I'm gonna be ending the stream soon. But as long as you have questions, I'm gonna stay here and answer. Also, happy 4th of July. Whether you live in the United States or not, you got celebrated. Adding shapes, and then so I can then pull off even more shapes and do stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not. Just want to try stuff. Looks a little insane. Kind of wish they went the other direction, but it's cool. It's something. Does a corrupted cherry blossom dragon turn into a splendor if it drinks demon blood? Honestly, that is so what this is reminding me of at this point. I'm gonna go with yes. Foxy is just officially completely nonsensical. That's okay. We all knew it was gonna happen. Oh, it's a ref. I see it now. Never mind. You're just torturing Reaper. Good, Foxy. Nah, Foxy's annoying me. Oh my gosh, earlier today, I saw like, before I started streaming, I had a message from Reaper in our mod chat at like 11:40, and it was like, hey, is there a stream today? And then like 11:50, Mom, it cracked me up. Ricky and I were driving home from like the grocery store, and I was just like cackling. I was just like, oh goodness. Ron Swanson's mustache says, I gotta go, but thanks to all of you guys, I'm learning so much. Thank you so much, Mia, for always showing up the way you do. I'll see you on Monday. See you then. And thank you. That's very, very sweet. Thank you from me and all of the peasants. Very sweet. Reaper said, if you had point, I would steal it from you. Goodness. Eloa says, I like that you detailed the head a bit more than normal before the rest of the body. It acted as a nice tone setter for the model. I'm glad that you noticed that. I've been doing that more often as I've gotten a little more confident in creature design stuff. Thank you. This thing is cool. Also, I'm being a little quiet right now because I'm really thinking about Ron Swanson's comment and like what really Ron Swanson is. God, that's funny to me. Anyway, specifically what they said there was, thank you so much, Mia, for always showing up the way you do. I really appreciate that. You know, everyone's got things that they're working on and things that they want to do, and for me, I tend to be a more cautious person where if I have the option between doing and not doing, I sometimes will just not do for like trying to preserve the status quo. So let's say if I'm not feeling up to live streaming, I'm like, oh, well, if I'm not going to be perfect, why do it at all? Which is a terrible attitude, right? So that's the thing that I had to overcome for sure. So like, I don't know. Showing up is so much of it. So it was a very, very sweet comment. Yeah. It's stuff like that. It sticks with me in a good way. I feel seen. Eloa says the late night shift at the tavern was always great. It's normally towards the end of the stream, last hour or so. In the UK, it's 2100. So it's a great end to the day. Is it 9? 2100. 21. It's nighttime. Yes. No, anyway, your point. Yeah, I agree. I think this is super nice. And again, I could do streams like this for years, y'all. I think this is the best. And like, again, if I ever got to the point where our streams always had like 50 viewers, something ridiculous, I would go out of my way to make sure I could still find time to do streams like this. They are good for my art soul. They really are. Ooh, Empress says, lately I've had the itch to try crafting weapons. I've watched K-pop Demon Hunters and my love of weapons flared up. Do it. Do it. Almost 10 p.m. in the UK. Thank you. In English. Reaper, yo, I love that movie. I like that you guys like the same things. Also, yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. I think Miguel just messaged me like this morning talking and raving about that. I'm gonna have to go watch that. Look at this dumb little purse. Oh my gosh. Lingwoon or whatever in the world we decided on the pronunciation for this. It's gonna stay there until it's done. Alright, I did a little bit of adjusting and I think that this saw improvements again, which is great. There we go. Very important that the purse is fitting. I love how the logo came out. Oh, goodness. Well, that was fun. Reaper says it just came out and I highly suggest it. Sounds good. I'll probably check it out. Where's this? Beep. Alright, where did you save? Did you save in the folder you said it was going to? No. Whatever. We'll save it 3 times. Just Lingual is asking Eloa, is lingual, which again, you told me how to pronounce it and I forgot. I'm so sorry. Part of the lore now as a posh luxury brand. You know it. Charmer sounded cool too. This is true. God, whenever I see the quick saves for that fox, I thought I was so cooked early on. I was like, I don't know how to do this. And it turned out so good. Loved that. All right, let's get a fun render on this because I don't want to do details. There we go. Let me scoot it over a touch because the head is important. There we go. I just got my linguals on sale. Lingao. There we go. As the peasant fancy brand. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we're going into a last call, y'all. I guess it was a shorter stream. It's only been 3 hours. Yeah, no. It can also be pronounced as Ling Wow. Ling Wow. I love that. That's hilarious. You know, I'm feeling kind of musiced out. I feel like now that I have my headphones off, you guys won't be able to hear me. I know that's not true because, again, my mic on here is just for me so I can hear myself. I don't know. I have forgotten how to turn these off. There we go. 3 hours is long enough. Go ingest. Go enjoy. Where did that come from? The rest of this glorious holiday. Thank you, Empress. Gotta like massage the head. There we go. Even those are super comfortable. Gotta restore the fluff. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was super fun. I'll be back on Monday. And yeah, I really don't even know what hijinks are planned. On Monday, we'll review the Summer Art Fest Week 3. I don't even know how long we're doing the Summer Art Fest. Maybe this was the last week. Maybe we're doing it for 1 more week, 5 more weeks. I have no idea. Until it's not summer. I'll talk to Eloa about that. Just Single says, I'm going to keep sculpting afterwards. I'm determined to actually have a model this week. I like it. Go cook. Eloa says, Mia, if the tavern was an actual classroom, would you enjoy working in there? Are you kidding? Absolutely. Absolutely. And then if you guys were actually like in a physical space with me, I could get like a water bottle, like a spray bottle. We could like shoot cats when they're being bad. Classrooms are like the worst places to learn. I do agree with that. This was super fun. Okay, that's a wrap. This thing came out awesome. Oh my goodness. Is this the spray bottle? Yeah. On that note, that is a perfect note to end on. I will see you guys on Monday. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. If you are in the United States, have a super fun, happy 4th, and stay safe, because fireworks, I don't know, just don't catch on fire. All right. I'll see you guys in a bit. Couple days. Bye.